Hello and welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me here today. We're going to continue a recent trend here and talk about some questions that you all have asked. What I'm doing today is combining two such questions into one video on dreams and illusions. Now, what better topic than dreams and illusions? Because we're all about, in the study and practice of this course, seeing things for what they really are, as they really are, rather than the way we've made them. Nothing less than a total, complete 180 in your perception. You deserve nothing less, so I invite you not to settle for anything less, ever. Ever. Okay. So the questions have come from two different sources. And before I launch into some discussion here, I just want to extend the invite to all of you to ask questions here on this comment thread. And if you have topics that you would like to see covered in one of these videos, I'm more than happy to entertain those. And we will absolutely work them in. So if you've got those specific questions related to your spiritual practice, related to your understanding of A Course in Miracles, your study and practice of this material, whatever that looks like, please feel free to ask questions. What we've been doing over the last few days is responding to some of these, and they're always timely. They're always timely, and they're always good questions because it's the question that you have right now, which makes it always timely. Why? There is no other time. In fact, there's no time at all. Only eternity and perfect oneness, which is what we're waking up to. Now, speaking of dreams and illusions, the question about illusions talks about how, as we wake up here from the dream, as we have what we call revelations, aha moments, whatever we call those, as we appear to get it, we one day awaken and we realize there was nothing to get. Exactly. Exactly. And the question about dreams is, why do we dream? Which is a very interesting question. We'll answer that from a couple of different perspectives, which you'll see in a moment. And hopefully that will assist in your understanding of the material, which is always my hope. And an even bigger hope of mine is that you'll be inspired to go forth and practice and forgive the Son of God. If you do nothing else today, yes, do that, please. And thank you. So let's talk about the illusion question from the standpoint of forgiveness. So we're told here in A Course in Miracles, which, by the way, is not the only world spiritual tradition to posit that all of this, all compound phenomena, are illusion. It's not alone. Now, is it in a scant minority of traditions as far as the multiplicity of traditions go? Yeah, of course it is. However, it's not the only one. So let's just consider again that only God is. When we say God is in the Course and we pause at the end, we shut up at the end of that statement with a period mic drop. What's implicit is only God is, and all else is illusion. Most definitely illusion. Even though I appear to feel this, what does that actually mean? Who's tapping what? The physical body is an illusion. Everything that you see on the screen, of life is an illusion, not just the screen you're watching this video on, but the screen of life that appears to be outside you. It's in your mind. So the mind is very active in its dreaming, isn't it? Now, there is a very important point made in A Course in Miracles that's worth spending a little bit of time on. That forgiveness, the practical centerpiece of this course, what we're invited to do, our function, in fact, is what it's referred to as forgiveness, true forgiveness of the Son of God, the world and everything in it, and yourself for dreaming it, don't forget. Yeah, all of that, everything that is not wholly joyous. Let's understand that forgiveness is also an illusion. Do it anyway, but it is an illusion. The main difference is that this illusion, forgiveness, leads us to awakening rather than keeps us further away. All other illusions, thinking you're the physical body and nothing else, thinking you're the 3 o'clock sales meeting and nothing else, thinking you're your car and nothing else, your social status and nothing else, all of that is an obstacle to your awareness of truth. Forgiveness is not an obstacle to your awareness of truth, yet it remains an illusion because there's nothing to forgive. In truth, there is only perfect oneness, so there is no separate other to transgress against, and there is no separate other who transgresses against a separate you. There is only perfect oneness. Therefore, in truth, there is nothing to forgive. There is nothing to get. Another idea that I hope you find very helpful, that is often repeated here in these videos, is the notion that ideas leave not their source. Thoughts remain in the mind of the thinker, and you are a thought of God. We are the thought of God, the extension of God, who remains safe and whole and perfectly joyous and at peace in the mind of the thinker. Ideas leave not their source, capital S. So forgiveness is the one illusion that leads us to truth rather than away from it. So when that is understood, it becomes, ideally, hopefully, eventually, very clear that that is what we are to practice. And yes, awakening is like that. At one point, we all realize that there was nothing to get. This never happened. And it didn't. Ideas leave not their source. This is a dream. This is a dream. And when we look around us, that's a dream too. Everything in this world, including the world itself, is a dream. Beautiful sunsets are a dream. Mountains and blue sky, a dream. Your past due bill notice, also a dream. What's going on here is everything that we appear to see in the world is symbolic. It's a symbol of something that's going on in our own mind. So what we see here is a roller coaster ride, isn't it? Where we may have incredibly beautiful moments, like that sunset, like a fantastic meal, or a warm and genuinely loving hug from somebody. Right? There are moments that are absolutely and incredibly beautiful. They are symbolic. They're symbolic of our own magnificence. They're symbolic of our own warmth, our wholeness, our radiance and love as the Christ, singular, the Son of God, again, singular. They're symbolic. Everything that appears painful, well, the sun sets and then it's nighttime, and you might lose your way and fall 1 minute after witnessing a beautiful sunset. Hopefully not, but you get the point. It's a roller coaster ride with hills and valleys and ups and downs, sometimes in dizzyingly rapid succession. We can all relate to that experience. Everything that is not wholly joyous is symbolic of what's going on in our mind. This presents us with an opportunity for forgiveness. It is the raw material for awakening on a silver gifted platter. We have only to see it and to seize the day, so to speak, to take advantage of these forgiveness opportunities. We notice we forgive what appears on the screen of life. It appears to be outside us oftentimes. Or it's maybe a nasty thought that we have in our own mind that we want to forgive, including forgiving ourselves for dreaming it, which should always be incorporated. And we forgive that. Anything that is not wholly joyous is symbolic of our own deep buried unconscious guilt over the perceived separation from God, which never took place. So you could choose to see what we would consider negative and bad things happening in the world as the guilt-edged chances for forgiveness that they are. So I invite you to consider them that way. The question of why do we dream is always interesting. We dream because the mind never sleeps. The physical body may fall into a slumber, but we dream anyway, because the mind is always active. It's mind. It's always active. And it never stops. It never dies. It never dies. We can learn to still it and to make it peaceful and calm and tranquil. We can learn to relax our mind. That's when we hear the voice for God, our inner teacher, the best and the loudest, and when this voice is the most pronounced, with a tranquil and calm mind. Mind is always moving, it's always active, and it can be trained. This is how and why awakening's possible. It can be trained. This is a course in mind training. There's nothing else that it actually could be and ever hope to bring about the shift in perception that we're looking at here. So we dream because the mind's always moving. When we fall asleep at night, or whether we're taking a nap, we appear to be having experiences where things happen that defy what we would consider the laws of Newtonian physics here in this waking dream, because it's still a dream. So we're dreaming within a dream. And we fly in dreams. We talk to people that we've never seen. We do things that we would never do in the waking state at all. And it appears that all the laws of so-called reality are being flouted and violated completely. And then we wake up and it is as though those things that were so vivid and so real were never there. And we recognize immediately they weren't there. It was a dream. Same with awakening. We wake up and we recognize this was never there. This was never there. This video that we watched was never there. The pixelated image on your screen that appears to be speaking to you was never there. I mean, you can have some deep non-dual humor and some fun with it, should you choose. And it's true, though. It's true. This is a dream. When you have the opportunity in the midst of day-to-day life and work and email and eating, sleeping, I don't know, going to the bathroom, things like that, things we do in life when we appear to be human beings, you know, what we call life, doing life. If you think of it, pause and say, this is a dream. It's very helpful. So we dream when we're asleep at night. We dream when, well, we daydream too. We fantasize even when we're awake about all kinds of things that either are in the past or might happen in the future. And most of those never come to pass, do they? No matter how much worrying we do in the present moment. We can all relate to that. Getting anxious and deeply frustrated and worked into a state over something that we're convinced may happen, and it never does. So we're appearing here. We're dreaming this dream because, well, we're simply not awake. We're asleep. And the Course puts it, dreaming of exile on spinning ball of rock, but in reality, perfectly safe and at home in God, where we are and where we've always been. Ideas leave not their source. That's a very powerful idea from A Course in Miracles. So my hope is that this conversation has helped you in some way. And as always, what I'm really looking for here is that you will take this material and apply it, that these videos inspire you to practice, to extend love to your brother and yourself, because you're not two, you're one. And extend love to the world. Forgive it. It's nothing. As always, I thank you for joining me. And what I'm often inspired to say, and apparently it's happening again, is that the very most important offering that you can ever give anyone, anywhere, anytime, is your dedication and your commitment to your spiritual practice. There is nothing even comparably close. There is no close second. There's no distant second either. This is the most important offering you could ever give anyone, anywhere, anytime. So I thank you for that. Questions and comments are most welcome. And if you have, again, a request for a specific topic, just let me know and I'll work it in here. Otherwise, we're going through the text of A Course in Miracles. We're on chapter 10 out of 31, which means plenty more to discuss. The subscription button is here. That's the arrow in the corner of your screen. So I thank you, all of you who have recently joined us. If you have not and you would like to, I invite you to join us here. Go ahead and click that arrow and subscribe. What you'll get is this ongoing discussion, and there are several videos that appear each week. So I will see you on the next one. Thank you again for joining me. Have a great day.